Will Jalen Hurts still be running his style of offense in 2026? That question arises from, I assume, the Derek Gunn report from November, that the fundamental problem with the Eagles is that Jalen Hurts, when push came to shove, would play his game. If they call the play, he runs the play the way he wants.
Mike Florio opened the PFT Mailbag and somehow turned a few fan questions into a full NFL warning sign. This was not just about Jalen Hurts. This was not just about Browns cap space. This was about two franchises entering 2026 with pressure in completely different ways. Philadelphia is trying to rebuild its offense around Hurts after another coordinator change. Cleveland is trying to rebuild its future while managing money, quarterback questions, and a roster that still does not feel settled. And that is why this mailbag matters. It tells you where the quiet problems are before training camp even starts. Florio does what PFT does best. He takes a simple question and turns it into the bigger story. With Jalen Hurts, the question is not just whether he is talented. Everybody knows he is talented. The question is whether the Eagles' offense can finally become clean again. Can Hurts run it with more rhythm? Can the new staff stop the old problems from coming back? Can Philadelphia build something that doesn't feel like it is fighting itself every week?
Is there a disconnect between what the Eagles are trying to do offensively and what Jalen Hurts ultimately does when he has the ultimate discretion of the ball in his hands? You can say whatever you want to the quarterback, but once the play starts and the ball's in your hands, you're in charge of that football.
Hurts has been one of the most successful quarterbacks in football, but the conversation around him is never simple. When the Eagles win, people still ask if the offense is too limited. When the Eagles lose, people ask if Hurts is holding it back. That is a strange place for a quarterback who has already been to the biggest stages, but that is the reality in Philadelphia. Winning is not enough if the offense looks uncomfortable. And that is why Sean Mannion matters. Hurts has dealt with constant offensive change since entering the league. New voices, new systems, new play calling, new expectations. That can either make a quarterback stronger or wear him down. So when Hurts says he can see the vision in Mannion's offense, that is important. It means the Eagles are trying to simplify the noise and give him something clear.
How many differences do you expect in this offense versus what you guys have been running previously?
I think that's relative, but ultimately it's a different leader, different coordinator, different philosophical approach. So it's exciting. It's exciting to be able to learn a new brand of football, get new perspective.
This is where the Eagle section gets interesting. Hurts does not need a brand new personality. He does not need to become someone else. He needs an offense that matches what he does best while fixing what has held the team back. That means quicker answers, better timing, more middle-of-field confidence, more rhythm throws, more plays that don't require him to rescue everything late. The Eagles cannot waste time pretending the old formula is perfect. A.J. Brown is gone, the offense has changed, the receiver room has changed, the coaching staff has changed. So the question in 2026 is not whether Hurts can still be dangerous. The question is whether the Eagles can make him efficient again. Efficient Hurts is a nightmare. Stuck Hurts becomes a weekly debate show topic.
Curiously timed report from ESPN that I think had the Eagles' fingerprints all over it, putting Jalen Hurts on notice that it's shape up or ship out time. It's get with the program or the program is going to find a new quarterback message that was sent.
That on-notice discussion is the part Eagles fans do not want to hear, but it matters. Hurts has the contract, he has the resume, he has the respect. But the Eagles are not built to be patient forever. When a team changes coordinators and reshapes the offense, the quarterback has to respond. Mannion may be giving him a clear vision, but Hurts still has to make it work when the season starts. Now the mailbag shifts to Cleveland, and this is where the tone changes completely. The Browns are not dealing with one clean issue. They are dealing with layers: cap space, quarterback competition, young weapons, a changing offensive line, a defense trying to keep its identity, and a front office that cannot afford another wrong step. That is why Browns cap space is not just a money question, it is a direction question.
How much cap space did the Browns save due to the insurance policy on Deshaun Watson for him missing the entire 2025 season? I don't know the specific answer, but it has to be significant. They had a policy that pays out millions if he suffers an injury that keeps him from playing.
That is the second half of the story. Cap space sounds boring until your team needs answers. Then every dollar matters. Cleveland has to decide what it is actually building. Is this a reset? Is this a retool? Is this a young team transition? Is this still a win-now roster? Those questions matter because cap space can either create flexibility or hide bad planning. The Browns have already gone through major change. Joel Bitonio retired after a long career in Cleveland. That is not just losing a player. That is losing a locker room voice, losing stability, losing one of the few players who connected old Browns pain to the newer era. When a player like that leaves, the roster feels different immediately.
Talk about the consummate professional, doing everything you've always asked of him, doing it with a smile on his face, with positivity, being the leader among the offensive line. And with Joel, like, he had the talent, he had the desire, he had the work ethic.
That offensive line piece is huge because it connects directly to the quarterback question. If the Browns want Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, or anyone else to work, the line cannot fall apart. You can talk about cap space all day, but if the front office does not use resources correctly, the offense stays stuck. Quarterbacks need protection. Running backs need lanes. Young receivers need time for routes to develop. Everything starts up front. And that is why Cleveland's money situation has to be viewed with purpose. The Browns cannot just spend to spend. They need to spend on protection, on defensive depth, on players who fit Todd Monken's offense, on pieces that make the quarterback room easier to evaluate. Because if the roster is messy, the quarterback evaluation becomes messy too.
They got Shedeur Sanders, they got Deshaun Watson, they got Dylan Gabriel, and now they have Taylon Green, the freaky quarterback who ran like a 4.36 40-yard dash at the combine, was off the charts with the measurables, incredible athletic specimen. GM Andrew Berry's already said, they're not moving him to a different position. He's a quarterback.
This connects the whole Browns problem. Cleveland has too many quarterback questions and not enough certainty. Watson is still a major storyline. Shedeur is still the most interesting young name. Gabriel and Green are still part of the room. And when you have that much uncertainty, cap space becomes even more important. You need flexibility because you do not know what answer you are building around yet. This is why Florio's mailbag works better than a normal headline. It is not dramatic for no reason. It points at the decisions teams are trying to hide in July. The Eagles have to fix an offense before the season exposes it. The Browns have to manage cap space before roster holes become excuses. These are the quiet summer stories that become loud by October. And then Florio brings up the broader NFL question. If the league eventually moves toward 18 games, what happens with bye weeks? That sounds like a schedule question, but it is really about player safety, TV money, and competitive balance. More games means more revenue, but more games also means more wear on players. If the NFL adds an 18th game, teams will almost certainly push for more rest built into the calendar.
If the league moves to an 18-game season, is there any chance every team would get a second bye week placed in the middle of the season around week 9? I interpret that to mean, and I've had this question before and I've seen this point raised, a week where everyone is off. The league would never do that.
This thing widens the whole concept, because whether it's Hurts, the Browns, or the league schedule, the same question keeps coming up. How much can a team handle before the structure breaks? Philadelphia is asking Jalen Hurts to handle another offensive reset. Cleveland is asking its front office to handle cap pressure and quarterback uncertainty at the same time. And the NFL is asking players to handle the possibility of a longer season. That is the real theme of this mailbag. Pressure. Not loud pressure, quiet pressure. The kind that builds before camp. The kind fans do not always see until it turns into a loss. For Hurts, the answer has to be control. He has to make the new offense feel calm. He has to prove that the Eagles can win with structure, not just toughness. For the Browns, the answer has to be discipline. They cannot use cap space like a panic button. They have to use it like a plan. Protect the quarterback, support the young offense, keep enough flexibility for the next move. For the NFL, the answer has to be balance. If the league wants more games, it has to give players more recovery. Otherwise, the product suffers. That is why this PFT mailbag is worth watching. It looks like questions, but it is really a warning. The Eagles have talent, but their offense needs answers. The Browns have flexibility, but their roster needs direction. And the NFL has money waiting, but the schedule still has a breaking point. July is when teams talk about vision. September is when that vision gets hit. And by then, nobody cares about excuses.